Hi guys on YouTube, it's Super Canasta here. Just want to say, I went to the Switch 2 event yesterday, and it was very awesome. It was great. I'll just do a few highlights and stuff, what I think about it, and also what to expect from Switch 2, I guess. First things first, I went with a colleague from work. It was really fun to have someone there to experience it with, because on your own you have a great time, but with someone else it's always enjoyable too. We got to first play Mario Kart Worlds because it's kind of like split into sections, the halls. It was like, first things first, when you get in, you get to play Mario Kart Worlds. They kind of split it in like a you wait in line, and then every 20 minutes they'll put out another person, another 96 people to go and play Mario Kart Worlds. So you get in quite quickly. Thankfully we were just the second one in, so we got in there quite early. And yeah, so what you got was a test on how Mario Kart Worlds plays with up to two people. Well, only two people on one TV. They had the one on TV and one on the Switch 2 itself. And Mario Kart Worlds was amazing. Absolutely incredible type of game to play. We got to play as all the characters. Well, you got to choose all the characters you want. Obviously, people wanted the cow because it's the cow. Why not? We got to play. The levels are random, so you got to play random levels, which was cool. I got to do the desert one, if I remember. Yeah, it was a desert one, and then you see how the levels evolve, because they don't just stay on one track. Each lap goes to another course, which is so cool. I mean, honestly, it was a really cool idea. And it works seamlessly. It's really cool. My only problem I had was the drifting. They've changed the drifting, so it's not as easy as it was back in 8. It is different, and I have to say it's kind of slidier. So getting used to that, it would take some time, but I know I'll do it. Graphically, it looks fucking awesome. It's beautiful. It's very sharp. The textures and lighting are just freaking awesome. I wouldn't fault it in any way, shape or form with that. It is great. And playing it on the Switch 2 itself, playing it in handheld mode, is great. The one problem I had with the Switch 2, well, they're ones, because they're only demos, because they're not the full things, they're only like kiosk demos, is that obviously I wanted to see how the Joy-Cons detach and all that, but they were stuck on there permanently. They weren't coming off, and the triggers to take them off were like fake. They weren't going to come off, so I was a bit like, I would like to have tried that, but not a big deal. It was just what it was. What else? Okay, after you played Mario Kart, then you go into this big hallway full of games. You only get 4 hours there, so luckily I got to play the games I wanted to play in that 4 hours time period. So I was happy at least to do that, because that time goes fast. So the first game I played after Mario Kart was Donkey Kong Bonanza, which it was exactly as I expected it was going to be. It was so huge and amazing. Just the whole worlds in that were so fucking massive. I'm putting little pictures there of stuff that to prove that I've done it. Not like I need to prove it anyway, but there you go. You got the pictures there. And it was so cool. Breaking everything. The breaking physics was so amazing. Literally everything is there to be broken. Everything is there you can break. I was doing it to the highest limit I could to see what can be broken, what can't be broken. I mean, there are obviously boundaries that you can't break, because if you did that, how the fuck are you going to be on the world? But there is a lot to find underground, and like in the rocks, it's so packed with stuff. It is brilliant. And some of the things you can do is like when you slam down with, I think it was the L button, you can do like echolocation, so you can see if there's something interesting inside the rocks. That was cool. You can have a mini map so you can pinpoint where you want to go, and the map is huge. And I was only on the first basic level, but it is huge. And there are a lot of like sub levels to do, sort of like how in Kirby you got like the, you know, the little levels, the mini levels that you could do in Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That sort of levels. If you've played it anyway, you will know what I mean. So that was nice, and I was one of the first people to figure out a secret in one of the levels. The guy was like, "No one else has figured that secret yet." It's like, it seemed kind of obvious to me, but I found it. Then there was I'm trying to think what else was in there that I got to do. There's a lot of like submissions you can do with characters to get golden bananas and all that, which is really cool. I mean, there's a lot to do. It's not small. There's a vast amount of levels to do. The friggin' lighting looks incredible in that game. So do the textures. The shadows looked a bit off, but again, this was just the demo. It wasn't the full game, and they do put that out there, like this is not how the full game is going to look. So what I got to play might change in the full game. So yeah, that bit to me with the shadows was a bit like, oh, okay, that didn't look so great. But again, it was only the kiosk version. It wasn't the full game, so don't expect it to look like that. It's going to look better. Okay, next one I want to go to, Dragon Drive. That I didn't expect myself to enjoy it as much, but it was fun. It was so fun. I didn't expect the mouse functions to work as good as they do, but it is just your basic what is it? What do you call it? Wheelchair basketball. It is very much like your basic wheelchair basketball, but you're like on a 3-on-3 versus. You got to first another team whilst you're there, so you had to wait for. I mean, they only had 12 machines for that, so you had to wait in line until each, like at least one of the 6 were off, so you could have a go. And what was it? Yeah, getting used to controls. I feel like it was taking me a while to get used to the controls because of how you have to kind of go like that, and turn, all that. But I was getting used to it. I mean, after a while, I got used to it quite well, and I actually did score a few points in the team, and we actually won, which was great. The thing I really I found really interesting was the haptic feedback for when you're kind of doing that, like when you're pushing it, because you can feel like you're moving the wheels. It feels like you're actually moving the wheels with the vibrations are so cool, so responsive. You feel like you're in the wheelchair, you're doing it, which is amazing. I could see this becoming an esport because of how how competitive it is. It is so competitive and so much fun. It's like I say, it's your basic wheelchair basketball. So if you've played that, you know what to expect. But they give you like a long tutorial on how to get used to the controllers. So you're not just like thrown into it. You got a chance to like free roam, do what you want. So you don't have to feel like, oh, I have to figure out these controls right now and there. No, you get some time. So that was really good. Next game I want to talk about is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Honestly, it's worth the wait. It is worth the wait, guys. Graphically, it is fucking incredible. And this thing I want to say quickly is that the Switch 2 is 120 frames. It is exactly what they said. It's incredible, so responsive, so beautiful. I don't even care that it's not 4K at 120 frames and it's just 60 and it's just 1080p to get 208 120 frames. It still looks incredible, and you can tell how incredible it feels and looks with that. I would recommend, because you can see the picture right there, I'm playing with mouse controls. Do it with mouse controls. The immersion in it is so great that honestly, I will not play Metroid Prime 4 like that. I will not play it normally. I will be playing it with mouse controls because I feel like it is the best way to do it. You feel like you got so much control on Samus and the hand cannon that you just feel like you can like really like play with it and you can immerse yourself with it more. Graphically, it's incredible. Textures look very sharp. Again, lighting is very like beautiful. It's vibrant. Honestly, like the particle effects, the lighting, the whole ray tracing in it looks incredible. So I would say it's definitely to look out for. Sorry, I need a drink. But it is something to definitely look out for. I mean, you got to do an entire level in the kiosk, so the line was a bit long for this one, but you got to do a level and you got to do a boss. Obviously, it was the beginning of the game, but it just looked like this is what Metroid Prime and Metroid has to look like in the future. It's so fucking huge. Like, just even though I only played one level, like the outside, you can see all these like fights going on in the background, and all these like ships going past and all that. It looks so amazing, and they look so realistic. I was really surprised to see the power of the Switch 2 from just Metroid Prime 4 itself. It was really cool. I would definitely say, if you want to try a great FPS on the Switch 2, definitely get Metroid Prime 4. It looks fucking awesome. And again, these were just the kiosk version, the demos, not the full game, as they say on the screen. So, excuse me. So, I can't wait to see what the full game looks like. It was impressive. Excuse me. I was really impressed. I'm not going to go through all, like, every single game I've done, because it's like I did a lot for what I did. I did the Mario Kart tournament, the Battle Royale sort of stuff, where, you know, you keep going on until one person's the only winner. I got to the second to the last of that. I needed to be one of the 4, but I was unfortunately 8th at that point, so I didn't get that far. But I was getting so intense with it that I kept getting closer and closer to the screen every time I was winning. And the guy was just like, this dude's just getting closer to the screen. It's like, I know I am, because I'm so immersed. But that was fun. One thing I want to say is the Pro Controller for it is great. It's much lighter than the old one. So literally, it's like, it feels much lighter than this. These are more thinner, and you do get 2 extra buttons at the back there. But it is a much lighter controller. So that's been great, because not like this is really heavy. This isn't heavy at all. It's about the same weight as a, I would say, of a PS5 controller. So, you know, I would say about that. But it is a much lighter controller. And it feels really solid. It feels like a solid controller. I would definitely say, if you're looking to get the Pro Controller, do it, because it feels so good in the hand. One thing I will criticize about the Switch 2, though, I don't really like the bigger buttons. I don't really like the bigger analog sticks, and I think this is how they're stopping the drift. when you turn, like when I was playing Cyberpunk, I'm just going to show you on this one. So pretend this is like the Joy-Con. I was doing that, like to turn left. Oh wait, sorry, left. Yeah, turn left. The rubber was bouncing onto the pad. I mean, onto the surface, and it felt kind of cheap on that part. Again, these were only kiosk ones, so not the full thing, so it might be different. I can't say, but you could feel like there was a bit of like force, like when you were doing it. It felt forced, like you were doing it. If that makes sense, like you felt like they were like rubbing onto each other, basically. And maybe that's how they're going to get rid of the stick drift because of that. I don't know, but I don't really like that. I preferred the buttons being the size they were. I mean, the analogs as the size they were. But again, that's just me and my opinion on that. Next, I played a bit of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and yes, it runs at 120 frames, and it is much more responsive. Seriously, you don't get any sort of delays. The game loads like that. It loads so quick, and it looks beautiful. It looks so much beautiful. If you've already played Breath of the Wild and you know what I mean when how the game already looked great, this looks even better. And I'd say definitely this is the way you should play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It looks incredible. Lastly, because I've got only about another 4 minutes before I have to shoot off and do what I need to do, is Cyberpunk. Playing that, I didn't know what to expect because I've never actually played Cyberpunk. This was my first time because of all the bad reviews it had at the original launch. So I was just kind of like, no, I'm not playing it. I don't want to give it a shot. But obviously, since now on the PS5 and Xbox Series S, it's already done better now, and it's an actual fucking playable game. I thought, let's try and Switch 2. Let's give myself a surprise and see how it plays on there. And I feel that it shows off the power of the Switch 2. That really shows like the capability of what the Switch 2 can do. I still think it's got about 12 gigabytes of RAM, even though we don't know what the RAM size is. I just feel like it's got 12 gigabytes of RAM because of how that was running. It felt at least that. The dynamic lighting in there was nice. It looked beautiful. The only thing I will say that I thought was a bit like, felt a bit choppy, was some of the hair physics on the characters. I don't know if that's in the others or it's just in this tech demo, but it kind of felt like they looked very like pixely. I don't know what it was on, like what resolution. I think obviously it was on 1080p because I was playing it only in handheld mode. Everyone else got to play in the friggin' TV, which is what I wanted to do, but hey ho, you can't complain. But it still looks great. It's so responsive, looks sharp, and to be honest, from what I was looking at, old video footage of the game when it was on PlayStation 4 and even on PC. Obviously, it's not going to look as good as the PC version, but it looked at least around that sort of thing, better than it did on Stadia when that was out. And I would say it's on par to, like, past the PS4, but on par of the Xbox Series XS version, but not as much to the PS5 and X. That's what I think anyway. But again, these were only tech demos of the games. So again, the full game might look different. I don't know. But it was really cool. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just going around places because I was like, shit, what am I doing? I didn't actually get much information on what I was supposed to do. I mean, I was told to go to certain places, but I was just like, Okay, but which places were I supposed to go to? I know the minimap was show me, but it was very vague on where I had to go. Either that, I'm just fucking stupid. I'll go with Lara and say I'm fucking stupid, so it could have been just that. But that was interesting to play. I was planning to get that as like a launch game, but I'm not too sure now because I don't know how I'm going to do with it. Maybe give it a shot and give it my full attention afterwards, like when I actually get it. Don't judge it from just the demo. But it was fun though. Definitely something to get. Like definitely something I will probably try and get later on, or maybe when it's launched. I don't know yet. They did show off more games. They did show off GameCube. I didn't get a chance to play that. Showed off GameCube. They showed off Kirby. I played a bit of Mario Jamboree, which was fun. That was bloody awesome. Using the camera, and the camera can go far. I mean, let's say this is where I am right now with the camera. I could go much further and it would still pick you up, and it was great. It's a great camera that they've used, brilliantly designed, and it's so sharp in the quality. It was brilliant. And yeah, they had all that. They had Yakuza, they had Hades 2, Split Fiction, Street Fighter 6, Hogwarts Legacy. They had quite a lot of games really there, but they weren't the games I was really interested in playing. I got to play the games that I was interested in, and you know, I feel like it was like a really good day out. I got to play a lot. I got to understand the Switch 2 more. I just want Nintendo to not fuck up the marketing with it. They have to market this like in a way that it's like, yeah, this isn't the Switch. This is the Switch 2. This is a different console. It's more powerful. We got all this coming out for it. You know, they got to do that. I don't feel like it's going to fail. I feel like it's going to do good. Maybe not as good as the Switch 1, but I feel like it will do good. And it won't fuck up like the Wii U. That, I'm guaranteed it's not going to happen. After the thing, though, they gave us these little bags. Or Switch 2 bags. With some goodies in it. A poster. A bottle, which now says I already used it. A Switch 2 pen. My wristband for the event, so I've still got that, and a notepad. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I quite like that. That's very cool. So yeah, that's what they gave us in the event too. After which we left, it was nice. But overall, it was a great experience. It was a great day out. Awesome to play the Switch 2, and I can't wait to get it on launch. It is awesome. Literally, I would say upgrade to Switch 2. And I'm not just saying that because I want the Switch 2 to be good. It actually is a really, really good system. And I will definitely recommend upgrading to the Switch 2. It is everything that you want it to be. It is a powerful system. It is so amazing. The games on it look like incredible. So much nicer. And one thing I will say, I hope they don't just do a lot of Switch 2 editions. That will piss me off, actually. I just wanted to say that quickly. I don't want a lot of the whole Switch 2 editions, because then what would be the purpose to buy a fucking Switch 2 if you're going to continuously put Switch 1 games on Switch 2? Just continue on making new games for it. But like I say, it is a console I would say upgrade to. It is so much fun to play. The games look incredible. It is literally as Nintendo advertised it to be, and I feel like now playing it, the price justifies itself. But that's just me, again, how I feel about it. People have different opinions, which is great. You can have your own opinion on it, and you know, that's fine. If you don't really like the look of the Switch 2, that's fine. But just don't go like getting like arsy with people who actually want the console, because it's up to them if they want to play it. This is the thing about being a gamer. Enjoy what you have. If you prefer gaming PCs, for example, and you don't enjoy consoles, that's fine. But don't like rub it into other people and like tell them that they're wrong because they want to because they like what they want. Because being a gamer, it should just all be about the games, not just about the system. So, you know, just let people enjoy it. If they enjoy the Switch 2, let them. If they don't enjoy the Switch 2, let them. There you go. Just enjoy what you like. Okay? Anyway, guys, I went a bit further than I wanted to on this, but I just wanted to say my own thoughts on the Switch 2. Yeah, I'm definitely getting it on launch day. It is incredible, and I can't wait for it. So this is Super Kanata signing out. Have a nice day, guys. Take care.